Sure, your kid acts crazy, so he must be possessed. The Prodigy stars Taylor Schilling as Sarah, a mother whose young son Miles' disturbing behavior signals that an evil, possibly supernatural force has overtaken him. Fearing for her family's safety, Sarah must choose between her maternal instinct to love and protect Miles and a desperate need to investigate what or who is causing his dark turn. The thing that made me want to watch this movie was the concept alone, the idea that there could be something supernatural going on with this kid, or he could just be crazy. I personally like it when they have the idea in place that it could be supernatural or could be explained away. Ultimately, that's what I wanted to see from this movie. And it's always good to see a creepy kid be creepy. Let's get into it. People category, acting, characters, casting, importance, chemistry. The thing that popped out for me was the performance by the kid. Jackson Robert Scott plays Miles, and he does a great job being creepy. He carries the movie. Without him, the movie would be generic and boring and stupid, but he is very creepy, very scary, and the things that he does are bold, and it makes the audience member watching them just feel uneasy and uncomfortable, which is what the movie should be doing. It's kind of a psychological thriller. So out of everybody in the movie, he sticks out. His character sticks out. His acting sticks out. Everything about him sticks out, while everybody around him vanishes into the background and just kind of blends in together. That includes Taylor Schilling, though she is kind of in the middle. She's okay. There's nothing that's remarkable about her. She's basically just a mother. Blah. So the people category gets 12 out of 20 possible stars. That's 60%. When I'm looking at the writing category, I'm looking at specific things, and The Prodigy just never gets up to a great level. When you're dealing with a movie about a kid specifically, even a horror or thriller, you want it to have some kind of deep or meaningful click that the audience can connect with. And I don't think that's actually here at all. I don't really care that much about Miles. He does a great job in the role, but I don't care so much about his character that makes me feel for Taylor Schilling's character. I wouldn't say it's a deeper, meaningful story, and it doesn't really feel all that original, because I feel like The Orphan had a similar plot as well. As far as the pacing goes for the film, I feel like they didn't know exactly where they were going to go, at least not for a while. It's a slow-burning film. They don't know what the next move they're going to take is until later in the movie, so as far as the balance goes, it's a little wonky, but that's all I gotta say about that. 4 out of 10 possible stars. Behind the scenes is not that bad, actually. I don't think there's anything specifically great about the visuals, but the cinematography was often great. Also, music is important to the plot in a creepy way, in almost a nostalgic way, that adds to the plot in a way, so yeah, the music is pretty good. Everything else was pretty average, but decent. 8 out of 10. For the most part, I'd say it has a solid narrative structure, except for the inciting incident. The movie does a really good job introducing you to all the characters and the setting and the feel of the film, but there's no specific moment in the film that changes everything else. It's a slow-burning film, like I said before. It doesn't have a moment. It doesn't have an inciting incident or crossing of the threshold moment that changes everything else. There's just little things where the Taylor Schilling's character is like, something's off here. And because the movie's not really about anything until much later on, there's barely any obstacles until the third act, maybe. But it all does add up for the conclusion, the climax, and the falling action. So this gets 7 out of 10. Now remember, with the entertainment category, I'm not looking for a 10 out of 10 score. I'm looking for 5 out of 10, because that is just entertaining enough. It's not knock my socks off, it's not jaw on the floor, it's not my brain is melted entertaining, it's just an entertaining movie. And for The Prodigy, I did give it 5 out of 10, which means it is perfectly entertaining. I wouldn't say no to rewatching it, I just probably wouldn't do it right away. I think for the most part, you're gonna have a good time on watching, because it is bold and it makes you uncomfortable in the best kind of way. And because it's so bold in a way that a lot of movies aren't, it's discussion worthy. I don't think you're gonna go off rushing people saying, you gotta watch this movie, and recommend it. But there are things to talk about. And as far as being engaging, riveting, and feel like you can't pause it because something exciting is about to happen, it has that element to it, but it's not always there. A lot of the same thing happens over and over again, and you kind of can start to predict what's going to happen next, which makes it less engaging, but at the same time, it's not bad. The entertainment category, like I said, 5 out of 10. Now, when it comes down to the specialty category, what do you expect to see out of this movie? The first thing I wanted to know about this movie was the concept. Is it supernatural, or can it be explained away? That was what I thought the movie was about, but it's not really, especially if you start watching it. The first scene in the movie kind of leads you in a certain direction, and you're not going to have that balance anymore. It's just going to be one or the other. So this gets 0. As it's a horror film, is it scary? I wouldn't necessarily say that, but it does make you uneasy. It does make you uncomfortable watching all these bold decisions they make. So in that regards, I will say 5 out of 10. If you're a fan of creepy kids in horror films, then look no further than The Prodigy. We've seen it a million times before, but the creepy kid in this one does so many things that just makes you cringe in a good kind of way. I will give this 10 out of 10 for creepy kids. Woohoo! Halfway decent. Did they make the movie they intended to make from the get-go? Yes, they did. This is definitely their vision. I could tell right away. 10 out of 10. The specialty category gets 25 out of 40 possible stars. If we add up all those points, we get 61 out of 100 possible stars. That's 61%. If we were in school, that would be probably a D-, but that's okay. It has some really good, creepy things that happen in the movie, and it also has some slower moments as well. It doesn't stand out in front of a crowd as being the best creepy kid movie out there, but at the end of the day, it's just okay. Guys, tell me what you thought about The Prodigy in the comments down below, and for YouTube, you know you can subscribe to me, hit that bell to be notified when I come out with my next review, and until then, guys, peace out.